Come on. Get there, Krak. Come on, finish off.
I found out I was going to be playing for the VFL when I saw the surgeon last Friday. Myself and Krak both went. It's been pretty exciting this week, the build-up and just training, and just really looking forward to it. Yeah, we both found out together. We both went and visited the surgeon at the same time last Friday, and as soon as he told us that we were right to play, we both sort of looked at each other and couldn't help but smile, and just gave each other a pat on the back. We've done most of it, or pretty much all of it together, 1 week apart, and so to get through it together and be able to play our first game back together is going to be really special.
The overriding emotion, there's probably a few there. Nervous, excitement, the uncertainty. So there's a few there, but I'm pretty sure that once I get out there and sort of get amongst it, they'll go away pretty quickly. It's very unfortunate. You don't want no one else to go through what we've done through, but fortunately enough, we've been able to go through it together. So we've created a good bond there, and we worked hard, and there's light at the end of the tunnel for both of us, which is good.
Yeah, with the beard, I don't know. I sort of started my rehab. I just sort of left it there for a little bit. It got 2 or 3 weeks on, and as the weeks went by, it just grew a bit more. And speaking to a few of the boys, they said, yeah, you got to keep it, just keep it till you come back and play. And I suppose it was a bit of extra motivation, I suppose. The quicker I get back and play, the quicker I can get rid of the beard. But I've sort of taken a bit of a liking to it now, so if I can get a kick this weekend with it, I might keep it. So we'll see how we go.
We're just driving now into Bendigo. The excitement today is that we've got a couple of our long-term rehabbers coming back to play. So Brent McCapper, Andrew Cracker. 5.5 months ago had their knee reconstructions. My role as rehab coordinator and physio, I guess, is just to keep tabs on them today. For them to get where they have so quickly is a great achievement, and certainly exciting from the medical staff, physio staff, rehab staff, just to see today arrive.
Hey, smile for Mum. Thank you so much, guys.
Here's the morning.
Woke up, just everything else at 5 o'clock.
Did you? Yeah.
Done that feeling in a while.
Possibly worse than the time trials, mate. Get a taste of it. Yeah, go and have a kick, boys. So we've got Krak started half forward, and it looks like Caff started half back. So the game's underway. Basically, the computer program we've got there records when they come off, when they go back on, so it gives us total times for the rest and the total time they've been out there playing, and then converts it to a percentage game time for that quarter. So the boys have just come on after their break this quarter. They had a decent break, just trying to keep their game time limited, so they had a 3 or 4 minute break then. Just finished off well, a goal assist there, so he was right in it, so he's going well, that's good. How the legs feel in general? Alright? Okay.
Just got to not get too cute. We've got to keep playing the way we want to play. We want to lock them away defensively, and then we know that we'll get the reward done.
More relief, I suppose. I was so nervous this morning, last night, about the game, and just to get through, it's just such a relief, and to get a few kicks as well, myself and Krak, it's just an awesome feeling, and just so happy to be back playing footy.
Yeah, there's mixed emotions, I suppose. Happiness and relief sort of comes to mind. There's a bit of uncertainty before the game to see how you're going to go and see how you're going to pull up. So luckily we got through unscathed. It's quite a nice feeling to get through the first game. If all going well, obviously I'd love to get back and play finals with the senior side, but there's a lot of water to go under the bridge there yet.
If we get back in the seniors, we get back in the seniors, but we'll just do what we can and just enjoy ourselves, I think, for the rest of the year. Absolutely loved every minute of it, so just absolutely right.
The Collingwood Football Club today announced that Dane Swan has been suspended for the next 2 AFL matches. The decision was made after the club became aware that Dane had been drinking alcohol 6 days before next Saturday's match against Sydney, a clear breach of club protocols. The suspension followed discussions between a number of parties, including the player leadership group. As a result, Dane will not play on Saturday night against the Swans at ANZ Stadium or against North Melbourne the following weekend. Well, there's a number of people that gave us some information around the circumstances. We questioned a number of people, both internally and externally. We spoke to Dane himself, obviously. The player leadership group was consulted. The executive management of the football department were across it, and ultimately all those discussions led us to taking the decision that's been taken. Well, fundamentally, a strict club policy was not adhered to, and we felt that couldn't be ignored. No, there's nothing more to the suspension beyond the drinking and beyond the breach. The breach, as I said, it's a clear mandate from the playing group and supported by the entire football department that 6 days before a game you shouldn't be out and about, let alone drinking. Look, there's no doubt that Dane's a great player, and he will be a great player when he returns. But, like everyone, he's subjected to and signed off and agreed to certain rules and certain protocols. And when they're breached, there's consequences. Dane was disappointed, there's no doubt about that. Disappointed that he's let himself down, let his teammates down, and let the football club down. So, yeah, there's no doubt that he's remorseful and disappointed, but entirely understanding that his actions have led to the consequences that are on the table. You know, we took a decision based around similar circumstances on Sharrod, and he was deemed unavailable for 2 matches at the beginning of the season. So there's certainly consistency in the decision. It's quite likely that he'll play in the second week in the VFL, but that's yet to be fully endorsed by everyone. But it's quite likely that something like that will pan out. I don't think we're cutting off our nose at all. I think what we are doing, quite the contrary, is reaffirming and endorsing that we have rules and regulations that everyone, whether they're in your best playing group or they're number 500 on your list, that we all operate and live by the same standards because we've all signed off on them.
Hi, Rodney Eade here at the Monash Medical Centre at the Monash Heart Facility. Here to do an ECG and a stress test as part of the campaign of Monash Heart to be a real mate campaign. Obviously I'll be put through a fair bit of stress. I'm not looking forward to that. There'll be a fair bit of sweat involved, and also part of this is to learn the warning signs for all us males, especially above 40 years of age, if you've got warning signs, what you need to do about that. So let's go inside and see what happens.
I'm Professor Ian Meredith. I'm a cardiologist. I'm head of Monash Heart, and I'm also the Vice President of the Heart Foundation here in Victoria. And most importantly, I'm a huge Collingwood supporter.
People talk about obviously cancer and car accidents and that sort of thing, but I think it's the biggest killer, isn't it? Heart disease.
It is, that's right. It's the biggest cause of premature death in people, say, our age, the risk of dying unexpectedly and unknowingly. Yeah. And while you often think of the stereotype of people with heart disease as somebody who's overweight who smokes, and that might be the case, often apparently healthy people can have heart disease because they didn't know they had high cholesterol or high blood pressure or a bad family history. So, in terms of your risk of heart disease, a simple tape measure around the middle, and if you're over 102 centimetres around the middle, not sucking in, just let it go.
The gentleman, the doctor,
if you're around 102,
I was under 100.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So once you go over that 102, you can basically say you've doubled your risk of having a heart problem.
Oh, really?
Again. Beautiful. You're in good shape. No heart murmurs. That's what we want to see. That's fantastic.
Going well so far.
My name's Connor.
Connor, how you going? Rodney?
Nice to meet you. And just relax here and there as much as you can. Perfect.
Perfect?
Yep.
180 over 79?
Doesn't get much better.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that for my age or is that just in general?
It's in general.
So just a bit of lovely ultrasound gel. Yeah, it will be cold, sorry.
So, Rodney, I'll tilt that around so you can have a look there. Yep. This is the left ventricle, the contracting chamber of the heart. Yours is pumping normally there. You can see these two mobile structures here. They're two heart valves. That's all looking very normal.
It's very important to understand that if you're 40, you're male and you live in Australia, the risk of you developing a heart problem before you're 70 years of age is almost 1 in 2. And if you're a girl and you're 40, the chances you'll have a heart problem before you're 70 years of age is nearly 1 in 3. And if you smoke, it's 1 in 2 with the boys. The warning signs for heart disease are things people don't necessarily know, and so as part of the Be a Real Mate campaign, we're asking you to learn these signs and learn these symptoms so that you can recognise this problem not only in yourself but in other people. We want you to know that heart often presents with a tightness or a heaviness or an elephant on your chest, not necessarily that sharp stabbing pain that you sometimes see on TV. And it can also present with a heavy pressure in the shoulder when you're exerting yourself, or even pressure and aching in your arms when you're walking or climbing up the stairs to go into the MCG. Sometimes it's just breathlessness, and you need to be able to recognise these symptoms in your friends, your mates, and be able to do the same thing and actually call 000 and get an ambulance, get people to the hospital quickly, because if you do that, you can save lives.
Okay, so this is your heart at rest on the left-hand side. and post-exercise, post-stress on the right-hand side. And there's no wall motion abnormalities to indicate any problems in the coronary artery. So that's a normal response. We've gone from 60% up to about 75% there with your ejection fraction. What we know statistically that there's less than 1% per year risk of an adverse cardiac event over the next year. That holds out for 3 years, so 1% per year. That's about as low as you can meaningfully get if anything else.
Okay, right.
So no further testing required.
So you're well ahead of the rest of us.
Thank you. Thanks,
That's
guys.
great.
Appreciate that.
All that footage is off.
Be a real mate, understand the warning signs of heart attack, be able to call the ambulance for yourself or your friends early.
Pie fans, if you can't get to Sydney to watch the Pies take on the Swans this weekend, then what better way to enjoy the game than on your very own 42-inch Full HD limited edition Collingwood LED TV from Kogan at $449. It's an absolute steal, so head to Kogan.com to grab one of those. And joining me in the studio is a man that'll be glued to his Kogan this weekend, Lachy Keefe. Welcome to the studio.
Cheers for having me, mate. I might have to purchase one because my TV's just shit itself, so...
You did such a good job of selling that, I'm sure we can just give you that one. Mate, you've probably been watching more TV than you'd like, given the injury. How are you holding up?
Yeah, going well, mate. It's 10 weeks now, so it's been a while since that fourth quarter against Adelaide, but holding up all right. And like you said, watching a fair bit of TV, watching the other teams and watching from the sidelines. So, like I said, I'm holding up all right at the moment, but it might be a different story come finals, I guess.
We saw early in the show the development from the injuries of Brent McCaffer and Andrew Cracker. They've come along really well. That must be a great inspiration for you as well.
Yeah, quite a speedy recovery for those two, which is pretty impressive. You know, kudos to them and the strength and conditioning staff, and to get them up for you know, a bit of a tilt towards the final. So I think there's 3 games of VFL left, and hopefully they can get a bit of run in their legs and maybe make an appearance in September.
Have you been drawing on them for inspiration? Have they been helping you out with your recovery?
Yeah, all those guys, as well as Bally and Nath Brown was a similar injury to me as well. Last year is well documented. So those guys have given me a fair bit of encouragement and information to use. And like I said, those two are out of rehab now. But I've got Bally at the moment. He's in Europe as we speak. But hopefully he'll be back sooner rather than later, and we can get back into rehab together.
I'll get to Bally in a minute. What stage of your rehab are you at, and how far away are you?
Yeah, like I said before, 10 weeks, so which is just going pretty quick. But I'll be 2 weeks away from running and just going through small stages like that. So I think at the moment running is not what I really want to do. But in a couple of weeks' time, I think I'll just be sick of doing so much bike. So yeah, like I said, 12 weeks to start running. So small steps and just keep it on the right track.
We mentioned Luke Ball. He's been to exotic locations in Europe. He's been to the Tour de France. He's been to the Olympics. Have you been sort of making the most of your time off? Have you been anywhere exotic?
Not real exotic. I saw was it last week on the club. He was in the Champs-Élysées and with Eddie and all that kind of stuff. But no, not so exotic. I just went home to small town Gympie in southeast Queensland. So. Just the club gave me, was fortunate enough, the club gave me a week off, and I went home and just saw the family and friends and got back for the weekend's game.
Now, you're from Gympie, which is in the heartland of rugby league territory. You're also a state representative at junior level for soccer. How did you end up on Collingwood's radar?
Yeah, it was an interesting few months at the end of my year 12, so 07. I was playing soccer, like you said, and never really had an inkling of playing any AFL footy, let alone, club AFL, that kind of stuff. So went along to what's called an AFL Rookie Search Day and just did some testing and whatnot, and one thing led to another, and it was kind of at the end of school, and I was putting in uni preferences and all that stuff, dreading going to uni and whatnot, but I was lucky enough, and through the 3 months that they gave me a contract out of nowhere.
Well, mate, we're glad you turned up at Collingwood. Your development as a player has been fantastic. Good luck with your recovery, and we can't wait to see you back.